So next on our gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia, let's talk about Ninghizhidda and Ereshkigal. So the information for these two has been combined into one video mainly because of the amount of resources and information that I was able to find on them. Because you got to think about how old these traditions are and how much has been lost or destroyed over time. So we're going to talk about Ninghizhidda first. So if you were here for Ereshkigal, you kind of got to wait. So Ninghizhidda is known as Lord of the God Tree. In the myth about the first man, Adapa, he guards Anu's palace along with Dumuzi, also known as Tammuz. There was a temple dedicated to Ninghizhidda in Lagash. The French Museum, the Louvre, has a statue of Ningirsu, which has an inscription dedicating that statue to Ninghizhidda. He's depicted as a serpent with a human head, among other depictions. In some stories, his wife is Geshtinana, and in other ones, his wife is Azimua. So, and just a throwback, Geshtinana is actually Tammuz's or Dumuzi's sister. He's sometimes depicted as a female, as like names, like as names with Nin, the Nin, are generally considered female, except there's a couple of other deities that have Nin at the beginning that are male. So, yeah. So, his symbolic animal is a snake dragon with horns called the Bashmu, Bashmu, the Bashmu dragon. He's the patron god of medicine, which is really interesting because his symbol, which is two snakes like doing a double helix around an axial rod, which a lot of people say is the caduceus. Um, Ninghizhidda's symbol actually predates the caduceus by a couple of thousand years, if I got that right. so, so a common image that you find of it is the snakes with the rods around it and the two griffins on either side. If you like Google Ninghizhidda, you might find that symbol there. I wasn't able to find a royalty-free one, otherwise I would put it in the video. He's also associated with the constellation Hydra, go figure, snakes and whatnot. And he's sometimes noted as the son of Ninazu and Ningarida. And he's also an ancestor of Gilgamesh. So in Inanna's Descent, the tale of Inanna's Descent, which in the Necronomicon, the Simon Neck, you can find in the Magan text in the book. He's the guardian of the gates to the underworld, and he reminds Inanna or Ishtar, of the covenant and takes one piece of her armor every time, right? And there's also a tale, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I wasn't able to dig it up, where it shows or it talks about Ninghizidda's descent into the underworld, like his first time going there, and he actually uses a boat and crosses a river, which later on, becomes known as like the River Styx, but it kind of starts to detail what Ganzir in the underworld is all about. So, let's switch over to Ereshkigal here. So, Ereshkigal is also called Irkala or Alatu. She's the matriarch of Ganzir. She's first mentioned in the tale The Death of Ur-Nammu, written around 2000 BCE. Her first husband was actually Gugulana, which translates to the Great Bull of Heaven. And Enkidu happened to kill Gugulana in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Then she decided to, hook up with Enlil, and she gave birth to Namtar, who becomes like her like right hand almost, her right hand man. And she's Ishtar's twin sister. In the Descent of Inanna, or Ishtar, interchangeable, right? Which you can find in the Magan text of the Simon Necronomicon, and it is a tale from Mesopotamia way back when. Ishtar goes down there to kind of face Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal kills her by sending a ton of entities at her, go for the eyes, go for the throat, just rips her apart, hangs her from a stake, 3 days later, blah, blah, blah. First ascension story ever. Jesus was not, but I'll get off my soapbox now. Literally taking my foot off of the box down here. So, where was I? Yep. So Nergal eventually becomes her consort. Her main temple was in Kutha, And her worshippers ranged from Asia Minor to Egypt and also in Mesopotamia. Go figure. So in one tale, Ereshkigal is invited to a party. This is how basically her and Nergal first hook up, I guess you could say. So she's invited to a party, but she's in the underworld, right? She's in Ganzir, so she can't leave. So she's like, hey, Namtar, why don't you go for me, right? And then at the party, Namtar is insulted by Nergal, although the rest of the party goes fine. As a result, Ereshkigal is basically, all right, you can never come here, right? She's like, underworld, mine, you never come here. Like, they get in a fight, right? But eventually, they do get together. You know, you kind of find this really interesting dynamic between deities and their consorts. They're either sleeping with other people, or they hook up and they have a kid, or they get into a dangerous fight and then they regret it. Like after the descent of Ishtar, I'm going to take a little sidestep here. After the descent of Ishtar, when she comes back up and she's being followed by the spirits from Ganzir, and they're like, "Yo, you left a space. You kind of got to fill it. Can I take your kid? Can I take your assistant? No, no. Can I take your husband? Yes." Right? Kind of, the women are vengeful, man. And so Ereshkigal, being Ishtar's twin sister, is no different. Basically, gets mad at him, then is okay with it, and then invites him down into the underworld. And it's kind of interesting because Nergal is he's the god of pestilence and death by war. So he, in a way, ushers people into Ganzir, and then Ereshkigal is the boss of Ganzir, and she makes sure that the dead stay dead. They do not leave. If there's a spirit that happens to leave Ganzir and goes and affects somebody or haunts someone or causes an illness, you can bet that Ereshkigal said it was okay. And she allowed it to happen because she's the boss. And it's mainly to teach a lesson about proper burial, respecting the dead, different things like that. She has been depicted as well, let's see. Let me scroll down my notes here. So yeah, she had the power to help those who were possessed by evil spirits that made them sick. So some people prayed to her when family members were ill. Let's see. So she was depicted as a goddess that rewarded good, punished evil, and kept the dead where they belonged. And then everything I just said about if entities left Ganzir, she basically wrote the past. She allowed it to happen. And so she was also depicted as a goddess who would forgive transgressions for the greater good, teaching us that if the gods could let go of things and keep the greater good in mind, then we should be able to do the same thing. Have the bigger picture in mind rather than our selfish emotions. Yeah, we can have those emotions, we can have those little outbursts or whatever, but at the end of the day, we got to think with our higher mind and think for the bigger picture. So that was really interesting to learn about her during my notes. Essentially, she was not someone to hold a grudge. So I know that I was just reading off of my notes and stuff, so I wasn't exactly looking at the picture that I was generating in this video, but I hope that you guys liked my little chit-chat about Ninghizhidda and Ereshkigal. So yeah, let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Questions, complaints, concerns, and issues, you can drop them down there. You can connect with me on all of my social media, which you can find at the end of this video. So let me know what you think, and good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.